All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead, leading up to the approaching Season 4 finale. And with this one, let's do a Q&A, but first, let's have a look at some of these pictures for episode 15, because these actually look like this could be really good. Sweet, so we have just 2 episodes left for Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, and then the season is history. So I thought we would start things off today with giving our thoughts on all the pictures that have been released for episode 15 first, and then we'll do the Q&A afterwards, because these look really good. I mean, some of them look really, really good, and it's not just Alicia, right? So we got Charlie and Alicia here in the kind of the beach scene, I guess. Assuming that, of course, they see John and Strand across the water, and probably figure that they're going to have to go find some way to kind of rescue them since they are stranded, which, yes, that's pretty clever. And then after that, most likely head towards the rest of the group, which, of course, is in that city there, wherever that is, and, we'll eventually join up with them, because we do see Charlie in the promo with Wendell, so we know that they're going to meet up at some point here. So it's the first one, and we got another one here. Not much to say about this one either. It's just it's nice. We got this one here with Charlie in the hat. So that's cool. John's hat. This was before, I think they they kind of saw them across. You got her with the walkie-talkie here. Not sure if she's trying to kind of communicate with them across the water. So that makes sense, or that sounds about right. Or maybe she hears from Morgan and the others that are kind of trapped, and she realizes, okay, we better go help them first, and then we'll come back for John and Strand afterwards, something of the sort. So also a nice picture. Then we've got John and Strand here, right? So on likely the other side of the water, and maybe trying to get Alicia's attention, or let her know somehow there's alligators. Don't go for a swim, even though I'm sure a lot of us would like to see that. Don't do it, because there's alligators in the water. You imagine a character death by alligator, that would just be like the most ridiculous thing ever. But so expecting to see them join back with the rest of the group before the season is over, considering we're almost at the end now. Then we've got some different walkers in the city, wherever this is that the group is at right now in this building. And I really like the look of it. I think it's really cool. I would assume, or I would think, that this is probably most likely why there was a few episodes here in this season that were really slow, or they didn't do that much with it. And it looks like they're probably saving up for this episode here, because this is really cool to see. I always love to see environments like this in the zombie apocalypse, and we don't get to see them that often. It's just once in a while. It's really just every once in a while that we get to see either Rick and the group in the original Walking Dead, or our Fear group, actually, whoever that happens to be at the time, actually get into some of these city locations and locale, and really get to see a whole bunch of zombies inside the city, because of course cities are dense, right, with people. So you have a lot of people, therefore you have a lot of zombies once the zombie apocalypse has come. So pretty cool. Likely going to get surrounded in that, so we'll have to see how that whole thing kind of goes down. But it does look like it's shaping up to be pretty epic, so it looks like it could be really good, depending on, we'll see how the direction goes in the end here. But a whole bunch of zombies around, really cool, and just like it. It does look really good. I have to admit. I know that lately, we've done quite a bit of complaining about Fear, but I got to give them their credit when it's due. Some of these shots look really good. Looks like these last couple episodes might be really great. Then we've got June here with the walkie. I'm not sure if she might be communicating with maybe Alicia on the other side. Maybe that would make sense as for how they would be able to find each other in close to the finale here. So there's that. We have her again with her walkie, and you've got Luciana with an axe. So I'll have to see this season, man. Is she going to survive out the season? She's one I'm going to be looking at closely for this finale here, because, of course, Nick was killed off earlier. So, is she going to make it into Season 5? Will Luciana survive to Season 5, man? I kind of hope so, but I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I don't know. And here's several of them. The episode's called I Lose People, right? And then the finale's called I Lose Myself, which is really cool. So who will be left standing by the time this season is over? I just really feel like the two at the end, Wendell and Sarah, they just feel so much more like Z Nation characters than Walking Dead characters, But we'll see, man. We'll we'll see out of all of them who is still left standing in the end. Write your predictions below. Who's going to be killed off, guys? Because we only got a couple. He's got to lose people, so who's he going to lose? Will it be Luciana? Will it be Sarah and Wendell? Or maybe June? How's this thing going to go? Because June, high-profile actress, can they keep her for another season? Good question. And we've got Morgan and some of the others here as well, too, kind of coming out of the elevator, so it looks like that might be how they get down. So that could be kind of exciting. We'll see what that looks like in the finale here over the last couple. I really, it's 2 episodes, but it's like a finale overall because it does look really good. Here you've got Jim on the rooftop who's basically, he's dying. Reminds me a little bit of Merle, but he's not getting out of this one, right? He can't cut his hand off. It's a bite on his torso, so he's done it. His time is limited, and I hope they save the last one for him. Maybe Wendell can use that last round he's got for him. It's going to be brutal in the sun otherwise. Then we've got Morgan here as well on the walkie, so also maybe communicating with June or maybe communicating with Alicia. We'll see. And they need a distraction, so what's it going to be? It better not be Morgan. He better not have to Madison himself here to get the rest of the group out of here. Then we've got Lucy here as well too, staff only, so she's got the axe, and June again, and then June also on the radio there as well. So that's it for the different pictures we have for episode 15. It does look really good though, right? I think the zombies, to be honest, a whole bunch of zombies is probably more of a threat than the filthy lady Martha. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to see how Martha kind of works her way into these last 2 episodes here too. Whether or not Alicia kills her or what happens with that. I hope somebody kills her. and then we'll see past that. Okay, now let's get into some of your guys' questions for today. And of course, pretty soon we'll switch over mostly to Walking Dead videos almost every day as we get closer to The Walking Dead Season 9's premiere. So we're almost there. Just a couple weeks left. And, just looking at these pictures, sitting here thinking to myself, like, wow, Fear the Walking Dead's finale actually looks like it's going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to this. If nothing else, we get to see kind of a cool situation in a different environment that we don't usually get to see for Fear. And really makes sense for me, because this is something that they've often done in the past before as well, too. If you look at some of the biggest episodes they've done in certain, seasons of The Walking Dead, a lot of times they're followed afterwards by, more relaxing, slower, easier episodes. And then all of a sudden you get a Too Far Gone episode where there's, a freaking tank and stuff blowing up everywhere and, stuff like that. So I'm thinking for Fear, that's probably what we're going to see. Hopefully they were saving for this finale with some of those episodes in this back half that were kind of a little bit slower. First question comes in from Katrina Cox, who says, Trev, would you rather the series have stayed the way it was before the soft reboot, or do you like the Morgan-led Fear better? So I would say so far I don't like the Morgan-led Fear better, but I thought I would. Like, I thought that when they announced the crossover and the whole concept of Morgan as a lead, because I would say that I like Morgan better as a character than Madison. But the thing about it is it's like, the show had an identity with Madison. It had a flow. It had a story. It had something that was going through. And this year, that really got shaken up quite a bit with all the changes. And we don't want to beat it to death. We all know about the big, mid-season finale death and everything. So it is what it is. You can't go back, Bob. So we just got to move forward with what they're doing with Morgan and kind of his version of Fear now, and the series having changed. If you want to think of it a certain way, you could think of it as the first 3 seasons is Fear the Walking Dead, and then season 4 and onward is something new. It's something different from what the first 3 seasons were. James W. said, I would have left Wendell behind faster than Shane left Otis, right? So when they're getting chased kind of by, or the zombies are coming after them, and they're kind of dragging them along, yeah, man, it's like a question, right? Maybe you guys would just want to just like leave him, dump him, and that's what Shane would do, right? So that's an Shane thing to do, and if you're a good guy, then you don't do it. And Morgan and the others, they're good guys, but already, there's been a cost to their humility, right? Wendell's okay, Wendell's still alive, but then Jim has been bitten as a result of what was happening. Tanner Levasseur says, Trev Q&A, do you think the writers writers for Fear the Walking Dead are afraid to create new and interesting storylines for us to care. It seems they are afraid to go into new territory because of the falling ratings. Well, I don't know if it has anything to do with the ratings and what they're doing with the season. I don't want to make it sound like that's the only thing that matters to them. Obviously, having a long-running, story with big story arcs is... it's important in what they're trying to set up here. I think mainly what they're trying to set up for Fear the Walking Dead with this half is they pretty much destroyed the old group ended. The first group with Fear ended at the end of the first half of season 4, and now the second half of season 4 they're creating a new group for Fear. Fear is going to have a new identity, so it's I would say this half is probably mostly about them finding the group identity. Who's going to lead? Is it going to be Morgan who's the leader of the group, and who's going to be a survivor in that, and who's going to last through the season as they kind of come together by the time the finale is there, and try to identify themselves as some kind of a group going forward. We'll see who survives out the season and ends up being kind of a more long-running Fear survivor rather than just a season survivor, right? So, which we do... we have lots of those even in the original Walking Dead series. I'm talking like Milton from season 3. And, each season there's certain characters you just know are going to be like one season characters. Like this villain right now in Fear. I'd be shocked if she was still alive in season 5. And to be honest, I wouldn't even want to see that. Because I don't think she has that much depth. Viveris says, as someone who always defended the show, I have little defense for season 4B. It's doing many things we hated on The Walking Dead. Split story and plotting pace. After all the drama of this summer, these character episodes one after the other are not at all what we wanted or needed. 4A was so good in comparison. Well, I think these last 2 episodes might be a lot better. And a lot of people actually liked episode 14 a lot more than the prior episodes for this half. So I'm happy to hear that, even though I personally didn't. But I could see what they were doing. At least there was a lot of stuff happening, so that's an improvement, and that's good. Even if maybe the execution I felt like was a bit off. But for some people, it didn't bother them, so that's cool. Paul Toomey says, I'm glad Talking Dead is back where it should be. I never bothered with it when I had to wait an hour. It is only worth it when an episode gets too stylish so the plot points are unclear. I like Talking Dead. I'm happy to see that it's back on now, and if AMC's right and they're going to do another 10 years of Walking Dead, then I'm sure Chris Hardwick is pretty happy right now. Because then he's pretty much locked in. He's got basically a decade of work ahead of him, so that's really good. Congratulations to him. And man, I mean, there was the thing this summer, but it blew over, and it's good now. So Talking Dead is back in the right slot. Of course, there was Preacher on too, so they had it kind of delayed, but sometimes they do that, and it's all good. I mean, it's an easy show for them to make, Talking Dead, right? And it's worth it because Walking Dead's an awesome series, so why not focus on it a bit, and even Fear the Walking Dead too, and cover it a little bit afterwards. Why not? Michael says these characters weren't all predestined to die off. Most of them quit for better opportunities because it seems AMC is not paying them enough. Well, I don't know. That's one thing that we'll probably never know for Fear the Walking Dead. What kind of budget does Fear the Walking Dead get versus the original Walking Dead series? It's probably not even close. But season 3, they did a lot of big things in season 3 of Fear. So season 3 of Fear looked like it had some money in it, right? It looked like it cost a bit to do because they did some big things. They blew up the dam. They had, lots of different locations. They built a ranch. They did all kinds of stuff in season 3 of Fear. A lot of different environments, and that was cool to see. So, man, I guess with season 4, I don't know. I don't know if it cost the same. I tend to think it probably didn't. But then again, there was the stadium and some CG zombies there, which must have cost a lot in the mid-season finale. Daniel Kelly says, where the F is Daniel? Well, we'll see, man. Maybe Daniel will come back. Maybe he'll come back as a villain or something. That'd be kind of cool to see in the finale or something and set us up for next season in season 5. We'll see. Who knows? And Michael Bruno said, I don't see this as Fear the Walking Dead anymore. I see it as a new show in the Walking Dead universe. From that standpoint, it's decent enough to watch. And that's true. So as I was saying before earlier, you can look at the first 3 seasons of Fear as one series, and you can look at it now as a new series. McCaber says, if Alicia goes, I don't think I will keep watching. So, we'll have to see, man. That could, I really hope that's not what they do. I'm sitting here, I've been thinking to myself as well, too. Like, if they kill off Alicia Morgan in this finale here, will we keep watching after that, or will we be done, man? For me, it's like, because I do it with the channel and everything, it's kind of like, I almost feel like I have to. Like, I feel like people would be mad at me if I didn't. So I feel obligated to, almost no matter what they do. But I would be, but they did that with Madison, and I was so mad. You guys saw the video. I just did like a rant video for 20 minutes. I was just so mad afterwards. But, keep watching. It's still enjoyable. And even if we don't agree with everything they do, well, it's what it is, right? It's just, we don't always get what we want. So hopefully Alicia and Morgan survive for until the end of Fear, but we can never count on it, right? We'll see. And then the last one will be from Monix, who says, so zombies are now like bloodhounds. They'll keep tracking you forever. I always thought they initially followed people only when they could see or hear them. And yeah, that's true. They're not, I agree with you. They're not really bloodhounds. And of course, there's the Martha and her ninja zombies is funny too, right? Because it's like, how do people not hear these things coming? Because, it's not like she can quiet down the zombies. They're uncoordinated. They make a lot of noise, racket. They can't even walk around without making noise. And somehow she just sneaks up on people with the zombies, right? And a nice music video background, song to go with it as well too, right? So, the zombies being, following, well, they get on a path and then they continue going, and if they can still see you and they can still, get an idea of where you might have gone, that's where they're going to go. So you can give them a slip, you can trick them, but if you're not fast enough and you've got somebody who you have to carry or you have to drag, then it's pretty hard to kind of give them a slip and run away or get away from them in that way. So, but not forever, no. Eventually you could lose them for sure. So, and that'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you want to see one more this week before Sunday, send me some more questions for, last Q&A this week for Fear the Walking Dead. We'd like to do at least one more because, things are finally getting good and the season's almost over, right? So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. Please thumb up the video if you don't mind. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. And check out my t-shirt store if you guys haven't seen it yet. Here's my Tregan t-shirt. Link will be in the description to Trev's Stand 2 t-shirt store. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, this is Trev. And I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.